As for the night before Christmas, all was not quiet in the house because you had the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Las Vegas Raiders doing battle. The Raiders traveling to Pittsburgh. Both teams are 6-8. This game is supposed to commemorate the anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. I don't know what you call what we saw last week between the Raiders and Patriots. I'd love to get some nicknames from those out there. What would you call that play that we saw at the end of the game? That said, the Raiders got a very important win to at least keep their mirage of a playoff chance alive. And as for the Steelers, Mike Tomlin, with a win last week against the Panthers, still keeps his chances of keeping that 500 record or better alive. He has never had a season in which he's coached in which he's had a losing record. The Steelers are favored in this game by 3 points. That is probably in part due to Kenny Pickett being cleared from concussion protocol. He's expected to be back on the field. The over-under for this one is set at 39.5 points. Let's get to some gambling trends. Raiders are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games overall. The underdog is 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 meetings between the Raiders and Steelers. The Raiders are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games in Pittsburgh. The under is 4-1 in the Raiders' last 5 road games, and the under is 8-2 in the Steelers' last 10 games overall. I'll kick this one off. I actually like the Raiders to cover on this one. I would buy the 1.5. I think Josh McDaniels got his most important win as a head coach to date in his career, not only beating Bill Belichick, but the way in which it went down. I think he's got this team not believing that they're going to go anywhere, but believing that they're better and that the prospects of the future are better than they were a month ago. So I think there's a bit of belief with the Raiders right now. And on the other side, I just don't feel very good about the Steelers offense, even with Kenny Pickett. So in this game, I think the Raiders, if nothing else, keep it close. So I like Raiders plus 4.5. And I like the under after you buy a 1.5, under 41. Adam, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'll keep this one short and sweet here because I'm on the wrong side of the Raiders every single week. So 11 degrees, 21-mile winds, Pickett questionable, and just the issues I have with the Raiders on this one, I'm just staying away from this game. 2 teams that really have nothing to play for other than a little bit of pride and jobs for next year. So for me, I'm just staying off this one.
I like nothing better than people giving a warning that the Raiders are not worth betting on. I think we saw last week why you shouldn't touch the Raiders with a 10-foot pole. Lope, are you going to risk it and chance it? Are you betting on the Raiders this week?
I think I am. I'm gonna need you guys to talk me down, but just to go back, I'm kind of interested to see what the kind of nicknames people do have for him. It's funny that the Raiders, from the Sea of Hands to the Holy Roller to the Heidi Bowl game, they always seem to tuck rule game. They always seem to play in these kind of weird games. So I'm going to say that. But Steelers have lost 7 of their last 8 against AFC opponents. Raiders have covered the spread in 4 of their last 5. 8 of the last 10 at whatever the new Heinz Field's called have gone under. So I'm gonna chance it and go with the Raiders plus 3, and I'll take a flyer on the under because the weather is going to be terribly cold and brutal. So it'd be interesting how the Raiders travel.
Dennis, what are your thoughts on this one from a fantasy standpoint?
This may sound kind of gross, but I'm actually contemplating Najee Harris. Last week he saw 24 attempts, definitely far and away the most that he's had throughout the season. It looks like if it is Trubisky, that would be the safer way to go. But even if Trubisky's on the bench, I think that he's getting looks. And Las Vegas is 28th against running backs in fantasy. So I like him, especially for the price on DFS.
I agree with you. Najee Harris is one of those running backs I haven't liked all season. I didn't care what his matchup was, but I actually feel like this week might be his best opportunity of the year to deliver some production for fantasy owners who have held on to him throughout the season. The next game we're going to look at does shift us to Sunday. Welcome to Christmas. Merry Christmas.